It is Dokken right here on your Classic Metal Show. It is a bonus track from Erase the Slate, Upon Your Lips.
Not allowed to play that. Bonus track.
It's a bonus track. I like that tune.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one. Well, anyway, last week I went to Wisconsin to go see Dokken.
Right.
And they were playing at like this little lakeside festival, this little park right along Lake Michigan up in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And
that's what, 12 hours from you?
It's 2 hours.
Okay.
It's right up across the border, across the Illinois-Wisconsin border, just north of Chicago.
Okay.
And apparently this venue, or this owner who owns this venue, it's called the Route 66, Route 66 Roadhouse, I think it's called.
Okay.
Well, this guy is what do you call somebody who does a lot of charitable work for his community? Is it a philanthropist?
Idiot?
No. Come on, be a little more respectful.
Yeah, okay. Stupid idiot. Yeah, I guess he'd be a philanthropist, I guess.
Right. So he uses his money, he does a lot of charitable things.
Okay.
He has this roadhouse, and then in the summertime he puts on this event. It's summertime, kind of a carnival, like a mini state fair type thing over a weekend.
Right.
And, they got the carnival rides and live music and, the carnival type food, the corn dogs and all that shit.
Yeah, it's home days or whatever, that type of a thing.
Yeah, whatever. But, it's they do it right there in Kenosha. And they did like 2 days worth of music there, I guess. And I guess Eddie Money played there on Friday night. Boy,
tens of people must have been thrilled for that to happen.
Well, regardless of that, dude, I mean, this is small town Wisconsin. So for Eddie Money, regardless of how long he's been around or what you think of him, he's had a lot of classic rock radio hits.
I'm kidding. I'm a huge Eddie Money. I've seen Eddie Money like 15 times. I'm an actual
sure, but my point is that to bring Eddie Money to a situation like that,
yeah,
he's going to get a draw.
Oh yeah, yeah. Eddie Money's not going to come for the door.
Right.
He's definitely going to want 20, 25 grand minimum.
And then the following night there were several bands. The two of the most notable bands, I guess, was Tantric.
Oof,
which I don't really know their music. I know that they used to be Days of the New minus Travis Meeks.
Yeah.
But they went off on their own, way back in like 2002 or something like that?
Yeah, I didn't even know they were still together.
Well, that was a surprise to me as well.
Yeah.
But they were playing ahead of Dokken, and then Dokken closed the night.
Okay.
And so I went up, checked in at the hotel, got in there about 4 or so.
Dude, that's really my dream show, Tantric and Dokken. Jeez. I'm waiting for that all my life.
Well, I didn't see any of the Tantric show at all.
I figured not.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that, but I get to the hotel, and I got there, like I said, about 4 o'clock. And, the lobby call was like at 7, so I was like there 3 hours early.
Right.
And I figured that... maybe they would be doing sound check, and a lot of the times I'll go with the guys and go do sound check.
Okay.
But apparently, because of the way that the promoter or whoever was running the show, per se, they did sound check at like 10:30 in the morning.
10:30 in the morning?
10:30 in the morning.
Well, Don definitely didn't go to that.
No, he did go to that.
Don went to a 10:30 morning sound check.
I will tell you the whole story, and I'm glad you brought that up, because this whole leads up to the whole thing, right?
Right.
So, Dokken had gotten into Kenosha the night before, so they were there on Friday night.
Right.
So they had already, they'd already been there. They slept the night. The promoter said, "Hey, sound check's at 10:30."
Okay.
And it was just like 10:30, because it's usually late in the afternoon, like 3-4 o'clock.
Like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they were doing it early.
Okay.
So, the guys had already slept and they were all rested and everything. And so the whole band went.
Wow.
And I'm getting this story from both John and Don, okay?
Okay.
So apparently, and this goes back to the guy who puts on the show. He's very, he's very community oriented. He's very kind of a giving guy. He likes to include everybody as much as possible.
Right.
But from what I understand, and at least what I was told anyway, during the holiday times like Christmas or New Year's or Thanksgiving, this is one of those guys that buys a bunch of turkeys, or he buys a bunch of hams or something like that, and he gives it away to people who can't afford meals.
Okay.
So he's one of those guys that goes door to door and drops off a turkey at somebody's house or something.
He's one of these genuinely nice guys.
Yeah, he's a genuinely nice guy.
Okay.
And then he does this thing in the park. I don't know if there was an admission to this or not, to be honest with you. I don't know if he did it, with just sponsorship money or if it was a ticket. I really don't know.
Okay.
But it was a really good turnout, big turnout. People were just really enjoying it, right?
Right.
So anyway, I'm at the hotel. I'm there a little bit early, so I thought I'm going to go down to the bar and I'm going to go maybe have a drink before the show.
Okay.
So I'm hanging out at the bar, and there's these 3 people. I don't know who they are. They're obviously there for the show because they're kind of like the middle-aged, kind of rocker-looking people. Mm-hmm. And
from chicks and guys with mullets.
Well, the one guy that was hanging with the 2 chicks, he was bald.
Okay.
And then 2 chicks, kind of overweight girls, they've seen better days, sitting there at the bar. And, so I'm just sitting there just minding my own business. And the one guy says, are you here for the show? And I go, yeah, I'm here with Dokken. Oh, yeah, cool, and so, of course, they start name dropping.
Ugh.
Do you know, Jeff LaBar? It's like, yeah, I know who Jeff is. I know Jeff a little bit. Well, his son is playing with blah, 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 and he's playing Jeff's guitar. And, man, looking at him, he's like Jeff 30 years ago.
Oh, that's great.
Cool. Do you know Troy Patrick Farrell?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I know Troy very well, as a matter of fact. I said he kind of lived near where I live. Cool. I got him on the text right now. What's your name again? I'll tell him you said hi.
Dude, you should have just said nope. Just here for a drink, sir. Something going on here tonight? I would have, dude, at this point, because it always goes this way. At this point, you got to just start lying. You just got to start saying, nope. Is there something going on here tonight?
Right.
I just came down to get a drink.
Yeah.
My car's broke down 6 miles down Route 5. Just waiting for my car to be fixed.
Sure. So I said, yeah, I know Troy very well, as a matter of fact. Well, what's your name? I'll text him and let him know you said hi.
Oh, thanks. Because you couldn't do that.
And so she texts Troy and says I was there, and he texts back, hey, tell him I said, hey, man.
Boy, this cyber communication.
I know.
God, I wish I'd have been at the bar to catch this with you, dude.
I know. It was wild. It was crazy.
It's enthralling.
Right.
Holy shit. But you know damn well that you were making this guy's night.
Of course.
This guy was putting 2 rock stars together. And he told all of his friends the next day, you guys ain't going to believe this. But I met this guy, I think it was Dokken himself, and he was talking to Troy Patrick Farrell on my phone. That's what was going on. Him and my buddy Troy were talking. Troy, he was in White Lion. Can't believe White Lion wasn't playing this thing because Dokken was there. At least that's what Don told me when he's drinking at the bar.
Right.
Jesus.
So I'm just kind of minding my own business and whatnot, and I turn around, and who's standing right behind me?
Who?
John Levin.
Oh, nice.
He comes in, he goes, hey, bro, Don said you were going to be here. And I said, yeah, I just rolled in not long ago. And he goes, you want to just go grab a table? He goes, I need to get something to eat.
And that guy goes, wait a minute, do you know Troy Patrick Farrell too?
So I went and sat at the table with John.
Right.
And he says to me, Chris never called me.
Chris who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh. No, I never did.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm still working things out with
All right,
that.
well, whatever the reason.
Yeah.
I said, well, Chris wanted to know if you did this kind of legal work, and he said he was going to call you. And I never heard from him.
Yeah, I will call him.
Yeah. So I said, so we just started talking, and he goes, so what's new? What do you hear? I said, well, what do you hear? And so he starts telling me about the whole rat thing.
Okay.
And he said Warren D. Martini was at a barbecue, at his personal barbecue at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't really go into a lot of detail. And even if he did, I can't really say too much here because it's really not my story to tell.
Sure.
But just like George Lynch was on Freddie Trunk show,
mm-hmm.
John said he was approached about joining Rat.
Oh, yeah? Is he the new guitar player of Rat?
No. He said no. He said, he goes, I would never do that. So why would I do that?
Yeah, it's a lateral move at best.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, do you want to hear who I heard?
Well, we'll get into that. Let me finish the Dokken thing, and we'll get into the whole Rat thing.
All right, sure.
But that was one thing he revealed. He said that he was approached about it. He said, I'm not doing that to my friend.
Yeah.
Because he and Warren are pretty good friends.
Right, yeah.
Well,
who would want, especially a lawyer, what lawyer would fucking go into that legal hassle?
So we were just sitting there, and we were talking about Van Halen, and we were talking about Rat, and we were just shooting the shit about all kinds of stuff, because he was, because right now, since basically we saw them last, Van Halen's kind of been, up in the air.
Yeah.
I said, is there even a Van Halen anymore? He says, well, I don't know. He said, but I'm hearing, he said, and this was something I've been hearing a while, is that they need to do something with Sammy.
Yeah.
And I know last year we had that discussion, and you lost a bet on that.
I did. I lost $100.
Right.
Yeah. The talk was that it was happening, and that Sammy had told his band to fucking find something to do for last year. And it just never came to be. So, yeah, they definitely got to do something with Sammy. They're not going to, what, are they going to go back out with Roth?
Right.
Ugh. No one wants to see that again.
Right. So, we just sat there and shot the shit, more or less. It was just kind of cool just to sit and just talk about music and stuff.
Sure.
Good, just good friendly conversation. And we were talking about that little interview thing that he did with that guy that we posted.
Right.
What's the series called? Something about guitarists?
I forget, because it was Guitar Talk, which I don't.
Guitar Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was telling me a little bit about that gig and everything, and what that guy's trying to accomplish in the video podcast world and everything.
Right.
And I was telling him, from our experience, that if this guy thinks he's going to make a living doing that, he needs to talk to somebody like Bob Nalbandian, who made it very clear 2 weeks ago that even though he's heavily involved in this whole documentary work, because I certainly don't make a living doing this.
No.
Everybody thinks that they can make a living doing this.
There's no money to make anymore.
No, of course not. But, remember our friend, the Walrus?
Yeah.
He thought sponsors, fan sponsorship would allow him to do a radio show every day.
Well, he was correct, because he had the talent and deserved better than he got.
But it's so funny because, and this goes back to our fans, and believe me when I tell you, I really do appreciate the fans and their fandom of what we do.
Yeah.
But there is no money in this.
No.
None.
That's why I don't put up the Patreon page. Because I don't want to be embarrassed with fucking $8. That's the honest to God truth, is I don't want to put a fucking thing up there, because the fans are always like, well, if you guys did that, I would. Okay, great. You've sold, 100 T-shirts in 5 years?
Yeah.
So stop with the you'll do anything. You won't spend money.
Right.
And that's fine. We've built it that way. And I'll be fair, y'all have bought a lot of my books. And I definitely appreciate that. But to put a Patreon page up there and have people say, man, they did a good show tonight, I'm going to fucking throw them $10. That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
And what will happen? People go to our Patreon page and look, a 6-month total, $33. I'll pass.
Right.
That just fucking sounds awesome. And plus, then you got to start promoting it. Hey guys, don't forget, we got our Patreon page up over at patreon.com/please pay us because we're broke dick.
Right.
Yes. Fuck that.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. So, we sat and shot the shit. John had a salad. We just kind of talked about music and the industry and things in general. And it was just kind of a cool hang. And so it was like, I don't know, about an hour before lobby call. Mm-hmm. And John's like, yeah, I'm going to head back to the room. He said, I'll see you about an hour, okay? So I went back to my room, hung out, just kind of laid down, take a little nap.
All right.
Went down for lobby call. Just sitting in the lobby. Don texts me and he goes, yeah, meet me in the lobby at like 7 o'clock. He said, let's go have a cocktail before got to leave for the shuttle, right?
All right.
So we went to back to the bar and we had a Jack and Coke and we were just kind of sitting there shooting the shit. And so this is where he's telling me about sound check at 10:30 in the morning. Okay. So he says, we got here last night and they're telling us you guys got to do sound check at 10:30. And Don's like, 10:30? He goes, yeah, that's when we're doing sound check. We're going to get this all set up and going. Right. I was like, all right. So we all load up in the van, head on over there. And he says, we're going to do sound check. And there's these young kids kind of standing around with their arms crossed at the mixing board. And he goes, what's going on here? And he goes, well, these guys are going to learn sound. Oh, no. He goes, they're going to learn sound? He goes, yeah, they're going to, like broadcasting school or sound engineering school or something like that. Oh, no. And they're going to mix the show. He goes, you're going to do that on my show. He goes, and he said, and this is what Don said, I swear to God, this is what he said. He said, immediately I thought of you and how many times you covered how our sound was fucked up. He said, I'm not going to allow this to happen. He says, there's too many people out there with YouTube videos and cell phones and all this other shit. And he says, if this gets fucked up, he said, this doesn't reflect badly on your young guys here. And no offense to them. And I appreciate they want to learn. But he said, this all falls on me every fucking time. Right. Don fucked up the sound, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So he said, well, we're going to have the sound engineer here. He's going to teach these guys or show them what to do. Yeah, how about this? They can watch. So he said we start, doing sound check and everything. And so he says, I'm standing there and I'm pointing at the monitor guy and I'm trying to give him, some cues to like, hey, give me a little more in the wedge or give me a little more in my in-ears or give me a little more vocal or whatever. And the kid is just standing there and he goes, so he said, I had to walk back off stage over there and go, do you know what this means when I do this? So he said, and he said, God bless him. He says, I am not against somebody. Is that him? Let me take a look here. Yeah, that was him. That was him right there. There he is. There he is. He said, I'm not opposed to somebody learning the trade. He says, God knows we need a good sound engineer, but this is not the time to be doing this and leaving these kids in charge. Yeah, don't you guys have a local bar somewhere here in Kenosha? Holy smokes. So he said we went through sound check. He said, I took the time to set all the levels for everybody. Right. He said, I went over to the board and I set the levels for everybody and marked everything and, told them just don't fuck with this, because I know you're going to have like 3 or 4 other bands playing. Mm-hmm. He said, but this is our settings. Can you save that somehow? Right. And apparently they did. Well, that's good. But he was telling me all about it. Yeah, and you know how Don tells a story. Yeah. Of course, I'm sitting there laughing my ass off. because he's just so animated and just put out and disgusted that 10:30 in the morning he's dealing with teaching kids how to set a board.
I can just see him shaking his head no as he walks back to the stage going, motherfuck. This again.
Right.
What is it with fucking Wendell coming to these shows?
Right. So
there's the rest of them. There they are doing the Dokken sound.
Right. That's them. That's them. I recognize the guy in the middle.
Yeah, there he is. That's the guy Don was telling to mark the smell.
Right. So of course, we finish up a cocktail in the bar and we get in the van and we're riding over, and of course the whole trepidation is, I hope these guys didn't fuck up the settings. I hope
right.
Let's have a good show tonight, guys. Is
right.
It supposed to rain? Because we had some horrific weather here last week. He goes, it's supposed to rain, and is there thunderstorms predicted and whatnot? And this was right along the lakefront.
This was an outdoor show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Outdoor venue.
Nice.
And so we get over there, right? Yeah. And they get us into this place, and they go, okay, well, where's the dressing room? And some girl, she says, oh, it's over here, right? So she walks us over, and it's like this cinder block building. And you go in there, and basically what it is, it's a public shower room.
Oh, no. So wait a minute. So they're, what do they have, a curtain?
Yes. Yes. You're dead on. So we walk in, and basically the quote unquote, the green room is a locker room. It's a locker room, and then there's the urinals and stuff over in one area, and then there's a big open shower room, but they have everything curtained off.
Piece of tape on the door that says Dokken with a star on it. Fucking other pieces of tape that say Mick Brown and John Levin on each locker.
but the main quote unquote changing room, that's where the catering is.
Oh,
so all the food is in this locker room.
So you got a bunch of guys coming off stage with their sweaty balls fucking out right near the food?
Well, I didn't see, nobody was taking a shower or anything, but it was basically in the bathroom.
Boy, Don puts up with a lot to make whatever it is he makes. Jesus Christ.
So
at what point do you show up and you see a bunch of fucking 9-year-olds working the soundboard, and then you go, okay, well, show us where we can change, and they take you into the fucking bathroom.
Yeah.
So here's the green room. At what point do you say, you know what, I'm getting back on the fucking plane?
Right.
Keep your check. I'm out of here.
Right.
Good God.
Yeah. So anyway, they have tables. They have catering tables with the steam tables with all the food and stuff all set up.
Okay.
But it's in a locker room.
Right.
Nobody ate anything off the steam tables. Nobody.
It's like eating fucking lunch at a strip club.
I agree.
Ugh.
That's exactly what it was like. Nobody ate anything.
Yeah, hey, what is that? Is that mayonnaise or mildew? I can't fucking tell.
So, they had all these steam table trays, and they had like chicken and, mashed potatoes or, things like that. Nobody touched a thing.
I could just see Mick right now. He goes over by the food and he goes, hey, there's chicken.
Exactly.
From that echo from the bathroom stall.
Right.
Oh, my God. Don had to be ready to kill a motherfucker.
Well, again, this was in a public park.
Yeah.
And so that was the only thing they had close to having, a building or a green room. I guess they could have set up a tent.
Yeah, I mean, dude, those little tent cover things, like the cover tent thing, is like $80.
Yeah.
Yeah, you buy 4 of those, spend $300, and you got everybody covered in some fucking folding chairs.
Right.
Something.
Yeah.
Who wants to fucking eat off catering in the fucking shitter?
Yeah, exactly.
Yuck.
Yeah.
At least you knew there'd be extra water.
So the only thing that was consumed was the Jack Daniels and the Jim Beam and Coke.
Right, because it came in a bottle.
That's it.
It came closed. I can't for the life of me, even if I watched the food being prepared and knew it didn't touch anything, there's no way in fuck could I eat a plate of potatoes in a bathroom.
Exactly.
Who's going to do that?
That's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. The bathroom is, the urinals and the toilets are literally 15 feet from here.
Yeah, you got your food here and a fucking urinal that's had 100,000 dicks in it without a fucking new potato, or what do you call those, cake in it. No. Were the urinals at least clean?
I didn't have to use one, so I didn't go in there, but.
Or did you accidentally piss in the fucking mashed potatoes, not knowing where you were supposed to go?
Right.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to piss on this chicken? Shit, I didn't know.
So we were there maybe a half an hour before they had to hit the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And so we walked up on the stage, and Dokken took the stage. And believe it or not, regardless of everything I just told you, that sound was absolutely mint.
No kidding.
No kidding. They did a really good job on the mix and everything.
Hey, there's Don's dinner.
So good. That's pretty close to what it was like. There was a tray of food and there's a toilet right there.
Oh, yuck.
I mean, seriously. So the thing is that they did bring in a really good back line.
Sure.
And they had here's another thing.
It's because they had money saved from the caterer.
Well, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Don was telling me when they were doing the sound check and all that. Mm-hmm. He's just like, he says, I'm standing on the stage, and he says, I'm not, and believe me, they brought in some really nice equipment for this.
Okay.
It was really top of the line stuff.
Right.
And Don said, I'm standing there, doing sound check, and he says, I'm not hearing anything from the side fills at all.
Okay.
So I walked over to the sound guy, and I said, hey, how come there's nothing coming out of the side fills? And he said the guy told him. He said, oh, we never turn those on unless they're requested.
What?
He said, what do you mean they're not requested? He goes, well, Eddie Money played here last night, and he didn't ask for side fills.
Yeah, because he was fucking stoned, and he just showed up. He rolled out and sang 2 tickets.
He goes, well,
probably didn't know where he was.
He goes, well, why did you bring them? He goes, turn them on. He says, let's hear it,
Oh. What? Can I do that after I go in the bathroom and fucking fill up on some grub? Jesus Christ. This sounds like a disaster, even though the sound was good.
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
So anyway, they break into, the show, and they're going through the show, and I'm telling you, the sound was really good. Oh, here was the other thing. Yeah. Just prior to them taking the stage, Chris McCarville gave me a half a dozen set lists. He goes, could you run these up and get these put in front of the mics and stuff and whatever? And so while I'm talking to the guy up there, I go, hey, could you tape these to the to the stage? Yeah. He goes, yeah. And I said, and do me a favor. And it was one of the young kids,
Mm-hmm.
I said, would you please stay next to the board and please keep your eyes on Don's cues? Because a lot of these guys, and I've seen this happen so often, and people who don't do this very often or know what goes on along the side, a lot of these guys will just walk away from the board, during the show.
Yeah, they get it all tuned in by the second song, and then they just fucking go away.
Yeah, they go drink or go take a smoke or whatever it is that they do, and they walk away, and then, there needs to be an adjustment made, and there's nobody at the board.
Right.
And so I told the guy, I said, would you please stay at the board and please keep your eyes on Don?
Right.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's saying yes, sir to me, right?
Right.
So they start playing, and they go through their set list and everything. There was a time in the show, I think it was like during Too High to Fly.
Right.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what was the crowd interaction, because it was a really good crowd.
Okay.
It was a good sound system. The sound guys did not fuck it up in one way.
Nice.
Or no feedback, nothing.
Did any of them have you sign the report card at the end of the set?
No.
Oh, I'm just checking.
But everybody was so locked in, whether it was the crowd or the whole thing. That was in the 22 years that I've been running around with the band.
Yeah.
That was the second time that I've ever had that experience, because there was just something about that show that was just amazing.
Nice.
It was amazing. The crowd was really engaged with it, and the band was really engaged. And I thought it was just me, because I just thought, wow, this was a really good show.
Sure.
But after everybody got off the stage and we went back to the bathroom,
right, to have a lemonade and a plate of potatoes.
Exactly. John and Mick and Chris and even Dawn was like, that was an amazing show. What was it about tonight? And I don't know. I felt it too. And it was just one of those really weird, magical, and I hate to sound like that, but it was a really weird vibe. Mm-hmm. It was just like everybody was just like meshing. You know what I mean?
This wasn't a show, man. It was an event.
It was. And I hate to sound like that, but that is really the truth.
Nice.
So
well, every once in a while, fucking, everything clicks. Not often, apparently, but everything except for catering.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they need to have bad catering every night so they can go out there fucking hungry. go out there hungry to perform because they're just fucking hungry.
Right. Well, we didn't hang around long after the gig was over.
What?
No. Well, we didn't hang at the park. You
didn't stick around, have a piece of chicken, and wipe your mouth with some toilet paper?
No, we did not do that.
Jeez.
So it was already 11 o'clock, and a lot of the time these hotel bars, they close. Mm-hmm. And so we're on our way back, and it was like 10 after 11.
Okay.
And Don says, well, we're going to go back to the hotel. I'll meet everybody in the bar. And I said, are they going to still be open? He goes, yeah, they're going to leave it open just for us.
Okay.
I say, all right, cool. So Mick hits me on the shoulder and he goes, first one's on me. I'm just like, all right, cool. So we go to the bar, and everybody and their brother is there.
It's Don having his catering.
Yeah, that really could have been the case right there. There's the shower right next to the toilet, eating.
That's fucking so awful.
Yeah. That's really, really close to the bone.
God damn. That's funny.
It is funny. So we went to the bar, and the bar was just crowded.
Okay.
And, Mick was already there. And so I pulled up a chair next to Mick, and I'm sitting there. He orders me a double Jack and Coke.
Nice.
And I'm not a big drinker.
Right.
So, of course, we're sitting there, toasting and talking about the show. And this was an amazing show tonight. What do you think? And we were just kind of shooting the shit.
Right.
Well, everybody wanted to come up and get an autograph, of course, which, that's what people do. And, so he's busy taking pictures and taking autographs. And John, I don't think John came down to the bar, but Chris came down for a short time, and Don came down. And
stop it, Nathan.
Yeah, that was real. That was really what it looked like in there. It was just like that.
In fact, that's the promoter right there having himself
right.
Oh man,
that's exactly what it looked like in there.
Right.
So I'm sitting there, and before I know it, Mick disappears.
Yeah.
So Don and his chick and people were hanging out at the other end of the bar. So I went down there, and was talking to them for a little while. Next
Right.
thing I know, the bartender comes up and she slides another big double Jack and Coke over to me, and she goes, "Oh, the guy at the end of the bar sent that to you. Mick bought me another big ass drink."
Nice.
I didn't even touch it.
Nice.
I could. It's just like, I don't drink that much.
Oh, you got to drink it, dude.
Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't even touch it.
Pass it to a fan.
Yeah, I just was like, I can't drink that much. It's
Come on,
ridiculous.
it's only four Jack and Cokes.
Yeah, I know. It's more than I ever drink.
Come on. What's the drunk driving charge? Jeez.
Well, I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't
That's
driving.
I don't know. Shit, you should have got fucked up for the first time in your life.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Mm.
But yeah, I just hung out, and it got to be about midnight or so. We were only in the bar like 45 minutes.
Wow, and you got two doubles?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I drank the first one, but there was no way I was drinking the second one because I don't drink that much.
Right.
And so by this time, Dawn was just like, "Yeah, you guys have had it. I'm heading out."
And why? Yeah, I mean, they were on the go from 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, more or less.
Jeez.
So I basically, walked him and his chick up to their room, and he's like, "Yeah, let's get some breakfast in the morning. We head out at 9."
Did you go to the IHOB?
No, they had a breakfast place there in the hotel.
Okay. Did they speak English there?
They did.
Oh,
Did not have the same experience as you and I had at the Melodic Rock Fest.
Was that the experience at the catering? Look at that.
No, it wasn't like that at all. Nope.
Wow.
It wasn't that horrific.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. But anyway, overall, good show, really good show. But that's kind of what it looked like. They were there. Somebody took that picture.
Apparently Kendall was there with her camera.
Yeah, Kendall did a good job. But that's really what it looked like.
Oh, my God.
It was food in a locker room just like that.
No wonder McCarville looks pissed in that picture.
But if you want to use a Photoshop, that is about as close as you're going to get to the real thing.
Jesus. Dude, how do you not just sit there on the edge of one of these benches here and be like, man, what does my career come down to? I used to play in front of, I used to play big stadiums. Now I'm in a fucking high school locker room. Oh, that's horrible.
Well, that's what happened, but amazingly enough, the show was really good.
Well, that's good.
And, the after party at the bar, that was fun for about 45 minutes.
Sure.
But the guys are always characters.
Oh, yeah, those guys are silly.
So, yeah, we got up and we had a quick breakfast in the morning, and they got on the shuttle to go to the airport and fly home. But it was just a one gig weekend for them, which is really rare because it just, for them to go to the Midwest for just one show.
Yeah, that is
because
odd.
they usually do like a Friday and a Saturday, or at least have two shows, if not three, lined up.
Right.
But to do one and out.
Right.
That's not what they usually do. Like last night they played in South Dakota. Mm-hmm. And then tonight I was texting with Chris McCarville to tell him we were playing some of his Max Explosion music.
Yeah.
And he said that they were really late for their gig in San Francisco. So they went from South Dakota to San Francisco.
Oof.
He said they were buzzing along at 100 miles an hour.
Were they on a bus?
Well, on a van.
Oh,
probably from like the hotel shuttle or something.
Oh my God.
They flew into San Francisco and they were heading out to the gig.
All right. Wow. Ugh, yeah. I couldn't do that lifestyle. That's too much for me.
Hell, you won't even go to a Hawks game.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go to one of the hockey games. I've been meaning to talk to you for a week to me and you plan it.
All right.
because I saw that our good friend Jerome put the offer up there, and that is super gracious. But I want to do it the right way. What I would like to do is do it on a Friday night, and then just stay over and do the show on Saturday.
Okay.
Live in your studio, if we can make that all work out. And
Sure.
then have Jerome come down to the studio.
Yeah, if he wants to make the drive all the way over here.
Well, I'm making the drive all the way from fucking here.
Yeah, but you're Chris Aiken, though. You're co-host of the show.
Yeah, well, he's just a lowly fucking fan that wants to entertain the supremeness of me.
Right.
So if I could make the drive 6 hours, he can make the drive, 30 minutes?
No, it's 2 hours.
Same thing. Do it. He should make that drive. Well, you think because you give me tickets, that let you off the hook?
Right.
Please, I'm a very important guy. Anyway, I don't care, but I just think that would be better to do it 2 days and hang out and do the show.
Right.
Last time I did the show in your place was just a wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
A puking disaster.
Yeah.
I think that was the last time I was at your place, wasn't it?
I think so.
Of course, that's because you put the armed guard that doesn't let me back there for any reason.
Sure.